Okay, today I'm going to do a tutorial for DocAppender using Google Forms and Google Docs. This is great if you are creating a behavior modification form, homework, missing form, just something to generate and you want to send home to parents. So to do this, we have to kind of work backwards. Generally, you would start off in a Google form. Today, you need to start off by making a folder in your Google Drive. Again, just a little refresher to do that. You go to New, you go to Folder. For this lesson, I'm going to call it 4th grade science missing assignments. I'm going to click Create. And here is my folder. Inside that folder, now I want to create docs, and you could do this in several ways. You can create your docs with your student's last name only or first name only, or do last name comma first name or first name. It's generally how you want to organize your data. So let me give you an example of that. You're going to click New, Google Doc. This is going to show up several times. I apologize as I share my Drive between my work and personal account. And what you're going to do is just change the name. That's the only thing you're going to do for each of these documents is come up here and change where it says Untitled. And I'm going to change it to a name. Make sure that the name emulates itself up here. Exit it out. Go New, Google Doc. And I'm just going to type in several names. You could choose to fast forward through this if you understand what I'm doing at this point. Just make sure they show up. There we go. Click OK. Today. Uh-oh, there we go. Can't forget about all the Jackson brothers. Click off, make sure the names are the same. Another Google Doc. And I'm going to change the Google document up here. Select the name. And I'm just going to go this way. I don't feel like keep closing it. I'll close it at the end. Okay, we have Jackson 5's in there. What good is the Jackson 5 without the sister? Let's add Janet. Now this is kind of like if the Jacksons were enrolled in your 4th grade science class. Let's take a look how that looks. Janet. I'm going to close these tabs. And I think I closed Janet too quickly. So let's go back in and add another Janet. I'm going to take my time, let Google think and catch up with me. There we go. Okay, so now within this drive, we have 2 Janets. It's okay. We're just going to click and remove. I'm going to create a Google form. I'm going to go New, More, Google Forms. You can also do this by going to forms.google.com, or you can do this by clicking on the apps icon. So I'm just going to click on Google Forms. I'm going to name my form so I know what it is. It's going to be 4th grade science missing homework. Click on my untitled form just so it gives it a title up in the top left. You notice how that just mimics what I typed here. You can give yourself a form description. That's really up to you. My first question is going to be student name. I could spell. I'm going to click the multiple choice, make it a drop down. This is really nice, especially if you have several students, 20, 25, even more students in your class. I'm not going to type their names in here. This is where the add-on is going to do all the work for me. I'm going to go over here, add question. I'm just going to put comments. I'm going to switch that over to paragraph form. So now I can write a passage on what the student is missing, any concerns that I have into the Google form. Just a quick side note, if you're like me, you can color coordinate your classes. So you know when you see a blue form, for example, that's a 7th grade science. Of course, it's all up to you and how you want to design this. You don't have to change the color at all if that doesn't bother you. So here's where the magic happens. Up in the menu here, it has add-ons. You click on add-ons. If you don't have this extension already installed, as you see, I have an add-on already installed. If you just look down, there's several add-ons that you can add to this. What we're looking is for DocAppender, and you can easily just search for that right here. And as you see, I already have it on there. So you just would click on the free and add it on. But I already had that included, but that's how simple it is. You know your add-on is included in your Google Forms if you have the add-ons puzzle piece. And let's see how the magic works. So we're going to click on the puzzle piece. We're going to click on DocAppender. We are going to open this in the sidebar. Here we go. Now, remember that folder that we spent all that time adding the Jackson 5 and Janet into, or you would be adding your students into? We're going to tell DocAppender that we're going to pick this folder from the drive, as we already created it. Here we go. 4th grade science. I'm going to click select. I'm going to be patient. It's going to catch up with me. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to click next. We're going to select a question. If that turns blank, I have found if you click down and click on student name and perhaps refresh the list. Here we go, student name. You can include all the above, especially say for one reason or another, your whole class did not hand in the form, so you don't have to do this over and over and over again. We're going to save and populate the selected question. And here we go. The names of all of our students that we typed into the folder as a separate Google Doc now becomes a part of our list. What this does is it connects the name to that specific doc to generate the report. Pretty simple. So we're going to click next. Now I would suggest doing the timestamp, obviously the student name and comments. The reason why the timestamp is important is because you have you don't have to go in and type the time every time. It automatically generates that for you. A little bit of housekeeping. What I would also suggest is scrolling down, choosing from the separated bulleted list. And then you could put it into separate vertical tables, or you could do into rows in a single horizontal table. It just makes it look so much cleaner. Click enable. Okay, there you go. I'm just going to show you a couple of neat things about this now. So you can exit that out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open this form. What I did was I clicked send. I'm going to click on the link. I'm going to copy that form. Paste it here. What's one way I could quickly access this forms? We're teachers, we're busy, we want to access this form, we want to have it the minute the class walks in. I don't want to look for it in my Google Drive. Well, here's a little shortcut for you. If you click up in the menu in the top right-hand corner, go down to more tools, add to desktop. 4th grade science. We're going to open that as a window. Absolutely. We're going to click. There you go. And what that does is it adds it right to my desktop. So now, instead of going to the edit view of the form, I can go right to that form. So let's play. Anytime now. So maybe your class is really slow to coming in. There we go. Okay, so here, that little edit button just shows that you are the owner of the form and that you can go in and edit anytime. So from this list, I'm going to choose my name. I'm going to choose Jackie. Your comments did not complete. Complete page 7. Submit. Okay, you could submit another response. Janet, always in trouble. Okay, Janet, you did not do page 7 as well. I'm going to click submit. So now I'm going to bounce back from the form in which I submit the information and look at the behind the scenes action here. And you'll notice that I've been playing around with this a little bit. I actually have 7 responses in, and it looks like Tito, just by looking at this visual, right off the bat tells me, you might be struggling a little bit in science class. Something is going on here. I like to tell the teachers that use this as a really quick overview of what students didn't hand in their work. But the real magic is behind the scenes in the worksheets. As you see here, the information that went from what I filled in on the original Google Forms here actually ended up in each individual sheet. So I noticed there is a problem with the timestamp, and that's fine. This is a teachable moment. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I kind of stopped it to do some research. I'm not really sure what's going on, but let me show you how you can update the form. It's a great time to learn that anyways. So I'm going to go back to the form here, back to the questions. I am going to scoot down here. Under student name, I'm actually going to add a place where I can manually put a date. I'm just going to name it date. I'm going to change the multiple choice down to date. It lets me pick a nice little calendar. Okay, so that's said and done. The form is done, nothing much to it, right? Wrong. In order for the responses to now generate into this form, we have to tell the Google Doc that we're adding another field. So we just go back onto the add-on to DocAppender, open that sidebar back up. There we go. So that's fine. We just click next. We want the same information. It's going to the same place. So let's take a look. All of that's fine. Just save and populate. It's just going to save and populate the same names. If you have a student join your class, this is what you'll have to do as well. Sometimes you have students join. Sometimes you have students drop. It's okay to go back in that form if you don't want them included in the list. That's absolutely fine. So we just click next. Now we have to check in date because we added the date. We want the information to be in there. So I'm going to click Save Changes. Okay, so let me show you how that works. Now I'm going to go back to my Google form that was on my desktop, and I'm going to choose Janet again, and I'm going to type, oh, you know what? It didn't show up, so I need to actually refresh the form. Yes, I'm going to leave the page. Thanks for asking. Okay, go back down here, open back up that form to refresh it. There we go. Okay, so date. If you choose in the drop down, we'll say it was today. We're going to choose that Janet. Janet ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're going to submit our form. Okay, so let me show you what that actually looks like. And yes, we can go back and forth and add all the other names of the Jackson 5. But just for time's sake, we're going to go back here. And as you see, it adds a new column. We now have the timestamp, which is not found. It's not working. That's okay, because now we entered an area where we can put the date in. And then it goes to the student name, and then the comments. ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3 is now generated here. So this is a really easy way of student tracking. You can print these generated forms off, one for each of your parents if you're having a parent conference. You and a teacher, I'm going to show you that in another video, can actually work together on the same forms in a shared format. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I'll be talking to you soon.